Now, I assume that this is gonna work properly. It does look like it's working. Tools to combine both services. Yeah, I have to do it when I do this specifically. So like, I don't run these when I don't stream to both Twitch and YouTube. So I have Caster Labs Caffeine that shows both chats to myself, and then I have the live stream above us that shows Twitch chat because Twitch doesn't like it when you show YouTube chat. Okay, I think we're up. So we have SlimyYy Interactive. Lots of games are gonna get shown today. All what they call high quality indie games, the stuff that we normally play. But one thing that we like to do in these kind of events, I mean, we have 33 minutes to do it. We're gonna make a nice little bingo board. This should be good. We assume that the games that are in the bingo board are gonna 100% show up. I might need you all's help on this. Hades 2 anything. Silk Song. Literally anything. Let's go ahead and get Evil Empire in here. Evil Empire. Can't type. New game. Yo, CWR, good to see you. Oh, Risk of Rain 2 news. So Risk of Rain 2 DLC. Punkle is there for Vampire Survivors. And that could be a lot of things, I think. Titanfall 3, Half-Life 3. I wonder why that's not showing up on my chat bot. It might still be connecting. Yeah, I think we have to wait. So definitely not a Titanfall or a Half-Life. I don't think Valve counts as indie, if I were to say so. Different font. Well, we're gonna be swapping over to this soon. Which is, I guess we could hide this too. Once the thing goes live, we can full screen, so you won't see anything really. What will we think of from a Vampire Survivors? We already know that they have... Oh, they have the TV show, right? Vampire Survivors TV show. And then let's give them one more. So Punkle. Punkle, new game. Because I can't imagine they'd announce another Vampire Survivors like DLC. We technically have one already. Which is the Among Us one. So Risk of Rain. Celeste, I don't think so. Wizard of Legend 2, we haven't seen jack squat from. So maybe we can get a little bit there. I think the music might be too loud. Magicka 3, is that a game we really want to see? Oh, Darkest Dungeon. That's a good point. That is actually in this trailer. But would that be a DLC? Darkest Dungeon 2 DLC. Has that game had a DLC yet? Does anyone know? Does anyone actually play Darkest Dungeon 2? I respect the game. It's just I feel like I'm all set when it comes to playing it. Yeah, so we saw V Rising in this. Risk of Rain, that's V Rising. Mega Critic. Oh, it's Mega Crit, I think? For Slay the Spire? Slay the Spire 2. I can't imagine they would add to Slay the Spire. It has to be a brand new game. Oh, speaking of Silk Song, how about Crowsworn? And then another freebie. We have, what is it? Raven's Watch final area. Maybe we can get... It'd be nice to get like a release date for 1.0. I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. Funny enough, you know who replied to this? I can't really show you all because Elon doesn't let me really show much. Streets of Rage 2 and Pow World both retweeted the conference. Just actually super weird, but Pow World doesn't count as indie though, right? But I guess we could say, who are the Pow World devs? Pow World devs. Pocket Pair. Anything from Pocket Pair. Can I get another one of these in here? Thank you. Streets of Rogue. How about some Stardew slash Chocolate? It's Chocolatier, I think the name is. I also have like the list of indie games that are just up right now, in case we need a refresher on what's even possible. Don't Starve, that's Clay. Clay is working on a roguelike game that we played the demo of. It was alright. I think it's like a really good 4-player, like just fun game, but in terms of actually getting something long term, I don't think it was super good. Crab Champions, are they in 1.0 yet? That's definitely like a top game. Oh, anything from Ed for Binding of Isaac. Mugenics. We could maybe see something from the Spelunky dev. Probably doesn't have to be Spelunky. I think that project is way too done. Let's go back. Anything from Pizza Tower dev? Actually, I think they're working on something. I think they're working on new playable characters. Like, I think they showcased the tomato, being able to do stuff with that. So, like, maybe we'll actually have something from them. Ultra Kill? Is that game still in development? I thought all these games y'all are naming, I thought were done. Ultra Kill. That's a good game from what I hear. Skull just had a new update like 2 days ago. Rivals of Ether 2. Have we heard anything about that? That's not a roguelike though. Funny enough, like most of the games that are gonna be in this conference are roguelike adjacent, which is hilarious to me. Like, you would almost consider them competitors to one another, but I guess it doesn't really work that way in the indie space. It's like if Call of Duty, Activision was hosting a conference and they invited Apex and Epic Games for Fortnite. Inkbound 1.0 was yesterday, I believe. Oh my god. Rift of the Necrodancer release date would be beautiful. Like, that's sincerely a game I'm waiting on. And I wish I knew where it was, because I would be playing Rift of the Necrodancer right now, if I could. Sorry, just restarting my chat real quick. Alright, this bestsellers? No. Balatro mention. Cause like this is pretty hot right now. But I have a feeling it's not gonna see the light of day. I have to relog into YouTube. I could toss that in there. Just make it... what would you call a Balatro like? Gambling roguelike? I think that's a good space. Alright, we just need 2 more. Time check. 21 minutes. Oh, let's see what the chat in here is talking about. Luck be a landlord like? I think I have more hours in landlord than Balatro. Deltarune. Silk Song, Hades 2. I haven't played the first Hades, am I stupid? Everyone's just saying Risk of Rain and Silk Song. And Hades. Surely there's other stuff out there, right? Hyper Light Breaker! I think they showed that in the GIF. So this is like a free space right here. Prince of Persia? The one that's out, or we talk about the leak? Yeah, we gotta see some Hyper Light Breaker. Which, a lot of those, like, snowboarding roguelike and skateboarding roguelikes, I think that's kind of what this is. By the way, I do want to welcome my YouTube audience. I see you all are talking about Terraria, which I'll go ahead and throw that in there. I'm having a little difficulty getting my YouTube live chat. So I have you all like kind of running alongside me. So my apologies if I miss any of you, but definitely welcome to the YouTube folks. Alright, Terraria? Yeah, I don't think Dead Cells is getting any kind of mention. Remember, this is a conference set up by Evil Empire. So, would it be awkward to have any mention of like Windblown or Motion Twin? Let alone Dead Cells? That makes me think no Terraria, because the next Terraria update is the Dead Cells crossover, right? It'd be interesting if the Dead Cells crossover is off the table now, but I doubt it. I think it's still going. I don't want to put any survivors in here. Any survivors in the chat? Please let me move this. Oh my god. Where's the button to move? You all see this button, right? It literally has like movement here, but then when you go over here, that button doesn't exist. Why would it not exist? Does that make any sense to anyone? Am I missing it somewhere? Why would it do that? Skill issue? Please tell me no one's paying for Canva. Rip immersion? Alright, good enough. How we feel about this, everybody? Is this the hit? Rivals 2, Darkest Dungeon 2 DLC, Hades 2 anything? Streets of Rogue only because they retweeted the original tweet? Clay anything, Crowsworn anything, Ultra Kill, Ponko new game that's not Vampire Survivors? Rift of the Necrodancer? Do I trust Mugenics to be in here? We don't really have much to go off of. Oh wait, there's more games in here. Wow, that's so loud. Hang on, hang on. What's the cat game? Is that Cat Quest? Darkest Dungeon, Dyson Sphere Program, Hyperlight Drifter, B Rising, Risk of Rain 2, Slay the Spire, Vampire Survivors. My Time at Sandrock? Is that game mixed reviews? Wait. Okay, fair. You saw Wizards of Legend 2? Really? What time does it start? We're at 16 minutes. Okay, so top seller roguelikes. Slice and Dice. Daniel Mullins announcement. We already have that in the Game Awards. I don't think we need that. Is this game 1.0 yet? It's early access. Yeah, YouTube chat's not gonna show up on the thing. For some reason, it's asking me to log back into YouTube, which I have done twice already. So I just have both YouTube and Twitch on my screen right now, but not showing. Flashbang? Continue. Caster Labs already has access to 3 services. Make sure you trust them. I should probably have disconnected. Can we get Ashla sent in the next 16 minutes? The answer's no. It takes me an hour, 15 minutes to do a run in Ashla Ascent. And I like the game. I'm not saying that that's an issue necessarily, but that's not gonna happen before the stream starts. Alright, we got the snip. So in 14 minutes, we could just like check off and cross things off. Yo, Tremold, good to see you. Update 1.4.5 adds Dead Cells crossover, that's Terraria. Can't wait to summon Mushroom Boy. Yeah, I assume all of the outside stuff is still happening. So that's the Dead Cells animated show on the French network, whichever one that is. The Dead Cells board game, which is that thing back there that you can't see because I'm blocking it. The Dead Cells crossover with Terraria, and then anything else. Remnant 2 DLC. Is Remnant Focus Entertainment, which changed their name to Art Games? It is part of Art Games. That would be nice. I would probably replace one of these two. Chat, what's Gearbox? Is Gearbox Risk of Rain? Because I think they're supposed to be in here too. Gearbox is Risk of Rain? I should have made that Risk of Rain mobile game. I don't think that's out yet. Like, people are hating on it, but once that Risk of Rain mobile game comes out, they're just gonna be printing money. Remember, Vampire Survivors is mobile. I think you can actually play Vampire Survivors for free on mobile with ads. I don't know how it works exactly, but I think you get an ad every now and then while playing the game. Hopu is Risk of Rain dev. Gearbox is publisher. Gearbox did like half the development for the Void DLC, Survivors of the Void. They actually worked on a bit of that, and then that, as far as we know, is the last development effort for Hopu on Risk of Rain 2. The rest of Risk of Rain 2 should be getting developed in-house by Gearbox. So we thought that it was just gonna be like them buying the rights to the game, but they're actually working on the game. Yo, Aegis. T1 third month. Welcome, Aegis. Happy to have you here. Happy to continue to have you here. I have this sorted by top sellers. Why am I getting games that just came out? That makes no sense to me. Ants took my eyeball. Isn't that coming out like very soon? I can't imagine any of this stuff would be in the showcase. I think this is only like the tippity top of the roguelite genre. Isaac 2? That's Mugenics. I don't know if they have a story. Oh, they do. Uh, 10 minutes, everybody. Yeah, this is Isaac 2 right here. I think Ed said that he's more excited about this project than half the stuff he's worked on in a while. Let's see how the chats are looking. Any Balatro enjoyers? Hollow Song. Preciso da dopamina de brotato DLC. Dopamina. Nevergrave. That's the Power World devs. See, I told you I'm not the only one thinking about Power World here. It's gonna happen, maybe, in 8 minutes. This is exciting. So for those who don't know, Evil Empire, the Dead Cells devs, are the ones who put this together. So think about the amount of content that you've gotten for Dead Cells over the last, like, year, I'd say, and how long it probably takes to set something like this up. It's kind of wild if you think about it. So, it's a small company, but the folks over on the marketing side at Evil Empire, they're able to do all of this in between, like, doing the actual development. So I think they have, like, a good skill set to be able to do all of that at the same time. I know if I was working for a small indie company, my brain would be, like, just front and center, just the game and the negative reviews my game is getting. That's not a good mentality to have. You gotta have someone thinking from the outside. SOR2. SOR. Chat. What do you all think SOR2 is? Streets of Rage. Yeah, okay, so we do have that. So that Streets of Rage is like a popular game. I would imagine it's probably as popular as like a prison, is it called Prison Architect? I think Tiny Build might be in this, now that I think about it. I don't think you could just search Tiny Build though. Oh, you can, wow. They are doing Streets of Rogue 2. I did not know that. They have some bangers. Oh, I wonder how this game's doing. It's like super cheap right now. It's basically a rhythm game, but it's like super lo-fi, really. It's like you don't have to do anything crazy. And it's a pretty funny game, too. Did anyone say Earthblade? What's Earthblade? Five minutes, everybody. 5 minutes. It's a Metroidvania. I think the only Metroidvania people are looking for is Silksong. This looks like the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy. The bug girl. It's from the people who made Celeste. Oh, wow, okay. Hang on, I'm pogged. Though I believe they are publishing games. I don't know if they're doing, like, development. Like, I don't think Maddie is literally doing development right now. But they're definitely doing publishing. PS6 announcement. 9 Souls and Bow Path. I still haven't tried 9 Souls. I'm gonna wait until it's actually released. I don't want to get like super engrossed in a demo. They do have people working on Earthblade? Oh my god, okay. You got a wish list out of me. And that's not to say that these games aren't good unless we have, like, star developers working on them. They could very well be good in their own right. With, like, fresh talent. It's just, if it has all stars on the cast, then yeah, I'm gonna be included. Copium ready? Yeah, I don't know if Silk Song's gonna be in there. We have it on the bingo board, but like, this is honestly a failure. I mean, I'm sure the game's in development and I'm sure it's gonna be fantastic, but in terms of actually preparing for it, there's no way. Auto lose at row. Where's Hades? So yeah, this is fine because they don't line up to make bingo. I think this is okay. What's really bad, so I was talking to Airless about this, and I was mentioning how, like, if you have any game that's a roguelike that happens to be in that genre, we'll say Metroidvanias for now, you'll have people who come into the YouTube comments or whatever it is and say this is just Hollow Knight. So to me, that means I'm not interested and or I'm not playing this because it's just Hollow Knight. Silk Song was announced years ago and we have no information on it. None. So are you telling me that you aren't playing any Metroidvanias until Silk Song is out? No, right? You have to be playing something. I refuse to believe that someone would say, oh, this is just Hollow Knight, pass. And they can't play any video games until Silk Song releases. If you were to tell me, V, they're playing Hollow Knight, I don't believe it. I think the only people playing Hollow Knight right now are speedrunners. And maybe like streamers doing it for the first time ever. I would bet money that there's no one playing Hollow Knight for their 10th playthrough that's not like a speed run or a challenge or something. Deltarune fans? I didn't play any of that. Undertale, etc. Waiting for Silk Song when we waited for Kingdom Hearts 3, but there's nothing like Kingdom Hearts. There's so many things that are Hollow Knight adjacent that are actually good. And people are saying, this is just... this is just Timu Hollow Knight. So I'm not gonna play it. It's like, they're not gonna play anything then. Fireborn does cool stuff. That's all modded though. Okay, so you're either a speedrunner, a challenge runner, or you're playing modded Hollow Knight. Those are the only Hollow Knight players. Which is fine. Like, I love that people are still playing the game. It's just I would also like people to play other games while they're waiting for Silk Song. Ooh, Grime 2. I'm a little upset that I didn't finish Grime 1, because it was a very good game. I gotta figure out some way to finish a game. Like, whether it's we dedicate one day to, like, hop on how long does it take.com, choose a game that is, like, relatively decent, and then finish it on stream. Because right now, my backlog is dirty. I just installed a new game today. And my backlog is, like, it's a mile long. Very loud. Oh, I have it up twice. Sorry, everybody. Where is that? Jesus. Look at my volume meter. It's so loud still. That's incredible. Let's go! I'm ready. You all don't know how much like something like this is fun to me. Like, I love Game Awards. I loved E3 when that was a thing. PC Gamer, like all of that stuff. I love just like sitting here looking at stuff. Can you make it full screen? Sure. I loved React segments. But I can't watch everyone do React segments. There's gotta be some people that I actually appreciate. Like, I'll watch a Maximilian dude, but I don't know if I'm watching an Asmongold react. And that's no offense to anybody, it's just I got preferences. We might be able to kill our own music. Get your bingo board ready, everybody. I have it. I'm not gonna pop it up on the stream though, so we don't want to block anything. Oh! What a tease. The fact none of the trailers you're about to see have leaked is a mystery to us, especially the last one. The last one? No leaks? That makes you wonder, because it's like, there's always a not Neversoft. It is Neversoft, right? There's always a Mortal Kombat leak. I feel like fighting game leaks are the easiest leaks of all. It's like every time there's a new fighting game, you already know everything about the game and all of the content coming out before the game's even out yet. NetherRealm, thank you. Neversoft is Tony Hawk. Timeception. I don't mind, it just gives us more time to think about these bingo board releases. Time to add more games to that backlog. There's sales. Is the stream YouTube only? No, supposedly they're streaming to Bilibili as well. So to all my Chinese viewers, you got something out there. Though I would appreciate if you at least had us up on another monitor. Funny enough, and I don't think it's a scam, a lot of streamers have people who like recast their streams to Bilibili. You can't do it yourself because I think it has to be either done via VPN or you have to be doing it via like a Chinese IP. But there's actual businesses out there who work with creators to put their content on Bilibili. And like I was getting close, but you don't know what's a scam and what's not, so. That could have been on the bingo board too. Mention of AI, mention of layoffs. But I know they said they just wanted to have like pure gameplay. Just here to add more indies to my list. That's a true gamer right there. Thank you, Fudge. Because there's a lot of people who they see the word indie and they do Xbox 360, where you moonwalk backwards. There's a lot of streamers who do that even. Like every couple of weeks, you'll have someone who posts a tweet saying, there's nothing to play right now. Gaming is so trash in 2024. I can't believe I'm this bored with gaming. And it's like, I'm pretty sure you're playing the same games The same 3 games, perhaps, that you've been playing for the last, like, 6 years. One of them is probably Destiny. One of them is a mix between either League of Legends, Valorant, Call of Duty, Fortnite, like, that kind of stuff. And then maybe, like, an Elden Ring caught your eye. You either failed to beat it, or you, like, speed ran through it, and now you're bored. So it's like, they do it to themselves, when you could clearly be playing, like, any of this good stuff. Rip Epibot? Alright, so that's broken. "10 minutes. 6 months ago? They put this together in 6 months? Oh my god, they speed ran this. What in the world? Like, I can't even think 3 months ahead, let alone 6 months. Each time you see a roguelite trailer, you have to do 10 push-ups. Swole check? I don't think we can get a Dead Cells 2 since Windblown is a thing. Yeah, probably. But it may be, perhaps that's like the spiritual successor. And if you don't think it is because it's clearly a completely different game, I'm sure there's a game that's gonna get announced here that's a spiritual successor to Dead Cells. Who even holds the Dead Cells IP Motion Twin? They should. I can't imagine anyone else would. Windblown looks pretty dang good. Excited for Windblown. The new Prince of Persia game is being made by Motion Twin. It's an interesting... Is that a bet? Sam, you gotta do 5 gift memberships to YouTube. If A, there's even a Prince of Persia roguelike that's being made, and B, if it's being made by Motion Twin or not. If it's not, 5 memberships to the YouTube audience. From Sam. Yo, Retro Silverback, good to see you. Supposedly still a rumor. That's why I want the bet. At this point, Silk Song's still a rumor. That's why we have the bingo board. At this point, everything's a rumor. Because until Silk Song gets a release date, ain't nothing true. I guess I can leave this up for a little bit. Clean it up, maybe. Sick. I'm not that rich. Fair, fair. If someone can hook Sam up in case they get it wrong, it'd be appreciated. I can cover myself if they get it right. People are overhyping Silk Song. It won't reach that success. Now, Hitori, how do you feel about Elden Ring? Because you could consider like maybe Souls games up until Elden Ring, maybe Dark Souls 3, weren't like all that good. You didn't play Elden Ring? Okay, fair. Because like Elden Ring is super hyped when it was coming out, and it actually took over the internet, I would say, for a fair amount of time during its release. And then we have DLC coming up that people are very excited about. So I would dare say that Elden Ring actually fit the bill for the hype it was given. Maybe not from like everyone's concept of just it's a good game, but in terms of its like overall media attention. Because like Dragon's Dogma, for example, a lot of people excited about Dragon's Dogma. It's very much hyped up. It comes out, but not everyone can play it. So the media attention is very minimal. That's not to say it's a bad game necessarily. It's like overhyped and didn't necessarily meet that expectation for everyone on release. And I say that as a Capcom partner. I definitely hope that doesn't, because I love the game. If someone was to ask me, should I get the game, I would ask them a bunch of questions back. And hopefully the answer is yes. Get the game. But not everyone is gonna have the ability to play it. Just like not everyone will have the ability to play Elden Ring. But in terms of media attention, it kept people's eyeballs very well. Where's Sekiro 2? Isn't that Rise of the Ronin? Yo, Blaze, good to see you. Blaze, how's my bingo board? Am I missing anything? My internet can't handle this? Egregious, are you saying that you're like buffering? If you're buffering, I would say come to Twitch, because I think I have like alternate qualities. Just, I don't know if this is gonna work. Twitch.tv/Veedotme. If any of you all have issues actually like buffering on YouTube, you can probably see multiple qualities on Twitch. My YouTube has quality settings too? Oh, snap. That's legit. I'm watching on mobile in 360p. I should be on TikTok right now. Ayo, Silk Song mentioned. It wasn't in the bottom left, right? Your channel is about 40 seconds behind other channels I'm watching. You try refreshing? Sure. Am I caught up, Chris? 510. Rise of the Ronin is a different game. Sekiro was originally gonna be a Tenchu game. Now, wait, I went further back? Oh, I see, I see. Alright, is that better? 443. I would imagine this would be the place to see it. Oh my god. This one's worse. You think it might be better on Bilibili? Let me grab the link. This is sad. Crap, I don't have the Bilibili link. $204? Oh my god, wait, Twitch has it. What the heck? Chat, are you all good with this? Oh, if I get an ad here, I'm gonna snap. 40 seconds doesn't matter. We'll go to YouTube if I get an ad. Jeez. It's so loud. I love these little snippets in the bottom left. They're so creative. I hope we can have this every year. Yeah, we'll hide the bingo when it starts. That's only there to, like, for people coming in to know what's going on. I would love for one of these to be in person too. Like, I just want to go and watch. I want, like, Bill Clinton kid to walk on the stage and spout something dumb and get escorted out and have a fine. And then get destroyed on the internet. I don't hate travel, I just don't do well with anything that has obligations to it. It's like the first couple days of PAX where, like, I have scheduled stuff, I'm a nervous wreck. But then, like, once I'm on the stage or doing whatever it is, I'm usually, like, good. I haven't figured out, usually it's between, like, the time I fall asleep to the time I'm literally on stage. I am liquid. I am not even a person until I'm actually presentable. All right, here we go, here we go. World premiere. 45 minutes of Silk Song? Uh-oh. Who's gonna tell him? Should be good.
World premiere.
World premiere. Metroid? That looked like Samus' boot. Slay the Spire. Has to be a new game. I refuse it to be a DLC. Like, please give me an entirely new structure. Oh my god, thank you. Alright, we're eating. Ooh, I like that. Oh, that's so far! 2025? Alright, oh, this is gonna be good. Risk of Rain 2? That's the Dead Cells guy. Wait, no, I should have put that on the bingo board. Literally anything Dead Cells. I thought it was gonna not happen. I thought it was gonna be a conflict of interest. Okay, that's Poggy. Wait, an excuse to play Risk of Rain 2? Free.
World premiere.
World premiere. Wait, it's too quick. It's just a skin? A skin for Mercenary? Don't tell me that. I mean, actually do tell me that. Mercenary is the only character I play. So I am actually good. Kill or be killed. Chat, is this Survivors? This isn't Survivors. No, it's not. Master the demon within. I like the design. Wonder if it's gonna be a roguelike or if it's gonna be like a Fury. I wouldn't mind it being more like Fury than Gungeon. I think I'd rather have Fury. Minecraft? Hitman Minecraft?
This city's got it all. Bartenders, debt collectors, doctors, waiters, enforcers, killers. Now there's a new kind of killer in town. The bullet might have come from across the street. But the gun came from under it.
Is it an
Black
investigative
market dealers are
game?
just like anybody else. They do their work, they clock out, they go home. Nobody keeps better records than a crook. And killers always leave a trail.
Okay, I'm pogging.
Find them before they kill again.
This had a demo? Shadows of Doubt. Sharpshooter Assassin Update. Oh, so this game's already on Steam and it's now being launched on console. Alright, so this is Sandrock. This is where I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be the hit. But it's not mixed reviews. It's actually very positive. I assume this is Sandrock. Yeah. New multiplayer update? Cross-platform co-op multiplayer. Wow.
We didn't think the Viking raids could get any worse.
Inglando?
You, a lord of England, must tame the land.
People like their survival crafting games? Yeah, but I think there's just better ones than Sandrock, but apparently I'm wrong.
And build a mighty castle. Train your forces and prepare to man the ramparts. For our enemies have harnessed an ancient terror. In this world of steel,
Is it PvP?
Scale, only the bravest leaders, the ones who can defend their strongholds, the ones who can raise an army.
It's like Ark
The
in
ones
the
who
UK.
can fight together will be known as Dino Lords.
Wishlist now. I wonder if that's PvP or if that was just PvE. That'd be interesting. This looks familiar. I think I'm confusing it with a different game. Steampunk Metroidvania? With Path of Pain? Ooh, skill tree? Mega mess. And people will be like, where's Silksong? You have infinite games to play that are probably better than Silksong, but you just didn't do it. You got the keys to the castle of entertainment right in front of you. Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder. People said Gestalt. Is this like an existing franchise?
Vampire Survivors is coming to PlayStation. The game
Was it not on
people have
PlayStation?
described as the most fun I've ever had with one hand. You can play as a dog. There are no vampires in this game. You get the right build and just delete a whole screen of enemies. The garlic looks like balls. Vampire Survivors is coming to PlayStation.
Wait, do they really have a new DLC? They just made a DLC. They just did the Among Us one. Is it Contra? V confirmed as a fake gamer if he doesn't know which game this is from. I mean, that actually looks kind of entertaining. Not gonna lie. I know we make fun of survivors all the time, but that looks genuinely entertaining. Control! Oh, snap! My bingo board. Is this the TV show? Featuring Brad Fang. I don't know who that is.
My name is Eric Hillman. And
Oh, cool,
I
they do have
am the host
interviews.
for Flintlock.
I wasn't sure if they
describe
would.
The world of Flintlock as this beautiful mixture of dust and dirt and grime with magic and gods and wonder. My main focus for the music in Flintlock was trying to achieve a sound that felt unique to this world and unique to this setting, unique to these enemies.
It's gotta be such a cool job having
For
that
the
kind of
idea
talent.
Combat in this game, I wanted it to feel very specific and specifically small. For the gods, I went completely in the other direction. I really wanted it to feel like you were up
I
against.
think we saw this
awesome
at Game
and
Awards.
Something epic and kind of like you were up against a real challenge.
Because we were calling it like sort of Dark Souls Returnal, because it has a little bit of bullet hell, but just a little bit.
I'm most excited for players to experience a type of game and a type of world setting that we don't really see that much, that we haven't really seen that much in video games yet.
Like, people thought it was gonna be God of War adjacent, but I don't think it will be.
World premiere.
World premiere. They're involved with, I assume you're referring to like DEI, diversity and inclusion. We could have like a full conversation on that. My expectation is that people who like are already against, I won't be able to really speak to at all. But for like a general thought, just assume that
It was not always like this.
assume that something like Justice League. Justice League with
Centuries of
like the most, not the most recent cartoon, but the one that we grew up with that had
infinite power.
had John as the Green Lantern, the black guy. Like, if you were to imagine that was a diversity inclusion, but he has like a full backstory that people like made to be like actually good,
One night,
then I don't think someone would complain.
came home.
It's really only when people don't know what goes behind it, and it's like kind of a knee-jerk reaction, that people become like a little upset for whatever reason. But I think it's coming from like a wrong perception of what it could possibly be.
Take our
And that's all, and that's assuming that they aren't thinking like bad stuff.
Collect your bearings and
Like, I want to give at least a little bit of the benefit of the doubt before I assume that the person is just like a shitty person.
once again.
Alright, Death Must Die. Now this right here, this is a game that I did not like.
We don't have a
I respect
strength for
it.
him.
I like sincerely respect this game. But I could say with confidence I don't think I like
What
it.
kind of legend would it be without some fire and mayhem?
It's not the Hades part. It's not anything about like what the game's trying to do.
I want to see Death's heart.
I think the game fails on something that I wish was in it. And that could be a me issue. Like, I thought it would be in there, but it's just not. And that's all about the equipment.
Rise again, hero.
Act 2.
This is not your end.
So this game's early access right now. It's basically early access day 1. We only have up to the first boss, kinda, but then there's supposed to be more than that. Early preview version of the game? Is this 7 Days to Die?
When Earth turns against you. Survival.
It fails because it's a survivor's game? No comment. Like, if it was not survivors, I think it'd actually be better, but again, I'm not gonna be the one to say that. So not 7 Days to Die. Death Stranding?
We live to rebuild. We live.
I struggle with these kind of games. But if it has like this sort of, I don't know if it's zombies or not. It looks like Cataclysm eventually. If that's what you're expecting, like by the time you play through the game, that could be kind of interesting. Orbitals game right here. Fallout Tycoon. That I could imagine being a real game. Someone said Jon Stewart as Green Lantern. What's the guy's actual name? If anyone happens to know. It is Jon Stewart? Wait, I thought you all were joking about the comedian from Comedy Central. Is it really?
World premiere.
A world premiere. Crap, I really liked Undermine. It's just, it doesn't really look good on stream. Okay, co-op Undermine. The only thing about this game is it's very, like, relic dependent, and you can kind of break the game, almost like Binding of Isaac. So, I guess technically Isaac also has co-op too. So if you can break the game and co-op Isaac, then why not in here? That's not fair, she gets a dodge roll. The regular guy has to jump over stuff. Which, maybe it gives you iframes, but to me it wasn't the same. It's just having a dodge roll. It really is Jon Stewart. Thank you, thank you. Norland. RimWorld 2? Isn't RimWorld like one of the most played games on Steam right now? It's crazy. There's people who like really dig these games.
It's a bird, it's a bull, it's a chef, it's just an ordinary game.
Katamari?
Realistic. It's sporty, it's strategic. It's what the car.
This actually looks kind of decent. Any idea how long this is? I think it was only 45 minutes. We did play You Suck at Parking as well. This reminds me a lot of that game. September 5th, 2 days before my birthday. Yeah, my bingo board is freaking toast right now. This is cool. Like, I'm already giving them a round of applause. The Evil Empire folks for being able to do this. In only 6 months?
Secrets and whispers brought now to the fore.
Darkest Dungeon. Oh, snap. I gotta feed my cats at some point. DLC?
The light of victory casts a long shadow. And in that nighted gloom, your fragile triumph is under siege.
What's this?
Decency must be defended.
Where's the Mario Kart? They didn't get rid of the Mario Kart, right?
Righteousness reinforced. This realm must
Wait,
stand
this looks
fast
super
against those
decent.
who would seek to poison it and bleed it dry.
Is it a new game mode?
This squalid kingdom, these corrupted lands.
It's a new game mode!
they are
Wait, but
yours
it
now.
looks better than the normal game
about
mode
to
for
do.
free? No way! That looks legitimately better than the normal game.
Noriega, CEO and co-founder of Wabi Sabi Games. a
Are we
team of
back?
developers mainly located
Darkest
in
Dungeon
Latin
2
America.
is back on the
Growing
map?
up, we were heavily inspired by retro platformers, anime, and graffiti, and wanted to share all that love with the world with our own.
Chat, if you're a Darkest Dungeon
Like
fan, you're eating today.
This is the first project we have created together as a team, and we are very proud to be both published by Gearbox Publishing and also included as part of Riot Games' Underrepresented Founders Program. Now, here's the
Ooh, I didn't know Riot Games was doing that kind of stuff.
World
premiere.
They erased everything that made our city great.
Crap, I already want to buy it.
And even the people.
I'm a simple man. You give me future tech? With some Asian influences? It's an instant cop. Platformer?
The only way to resist,
Like Jet Set Grind?
to get our voices back,
Well, that is graffiti.
is with Daku Gaki.
Okay, so we got no gameplay from it. My expectation is platformer, graffiti, like Jet Set. I'm in. Can't read that title.
Broken Roads.
I already
is a
forgot what the title
post-apocalyptic,
was, funny
narrative-driven
enough.
RPG set in the desolate beauty.
Like I
of
said the
vast
title
Australian
3 times in
outback.
my head, and then I said something else, and I
To
completely
survive,
lost
you'll
it.
have to make tough choices guided by the moral compass, an all-new alignment system that will test your worldview against nihilist, humanist, utilitarian, and Machiavellian ideas. Become a hired gun, a jackaroo, a
This is
surveyor,
Twitch
or
chat.
a member of a barter crew,
That's kind of weird.
and discover their unique attribute bonuses, starting skills, and reputation within the world. Form bonds with
New
a
XCOM
diverse
game
cast
just
of
dropped?
companions, each with their own moral leaning and ideal outcome for the many challenges you'll face.
Or maybe more like
in your journey
Griftlands?
across
Is this how
Western Australia.
Griftlands plays? Disco Elysium? Is that the same thing as Griftlands? I didn't play either game. People tell me to play
Broken
them, but
Roads is available now.
okay. Definitely looks cool.
Avalon has
Alright,
been
Raven's
reduced
Watch.
to the shadow of a bygone
New
age.
biome, hopefully a date.
Nightmares have breached the last standing bastion. of reverie. The hero.
I don't think I have Raven's Watch on my YouTube channel. We gotta change that at some point.
Come to me, friends.
That's not enough to kill me.
The only thing is, I don't know how this game plays solo. I only ever really want to play it with other people.
Raven's Watch, heed my call. I am Morgan. For Avalon! And return my dear brother to his eternal rest.
We have new characters still that have to get announced too.
I fear it.
I don't think Sun Wukong's the last character.
Deep within the shadows.
Hopefully Elsa's buffed. It is decent on single player. I'm sure it is, but it's like Risk of Rain 2 to me, where I feel like it's probably best played with other people. No idea what this is. Bane? Bane Rat? Cat Quest? This is kind of morbid, right? Is it actually Cat Quest? Cat Quest 3! I think we played Cat Quest 1 a long time ago as family game night. Okay, Hyperlight Breaker? It looks good. The map looks huge though. Our expectation is like Risk of Rain 2, where there's objectives on the map, but it's a roguelike game. Ooh. Ooh. Hyper Light Breaker. Date. Do we get a date? Oh my god, we gotta dodge Hades 2. That's all we gotta do. And we're fine. We're chilling. Last spell. New DLC. I didn't play last spell. I understand it's like a very difficult game. Probably like Darkest Dungeon levels of difficult. Where like you might just get royally screwed if you screw up somewhere. Very fun. Baru game right here. Yeah, anyone who can stream for 8 hours straight, this is their kind of game. Way harder than Darkest Dungeon. It looks like it has everything that someone who plays this kind of game wants. And I love the art too. This is sick. Just having like this kind of conference is really cool. Frostpunk? Maybe not. Butter Lamp Maker. Butter Lamp Maker. My cats are being so patient right now. Like, I was supposed to feed them, I think, 30 minutes ago. And normally they are like, where's it at? Where's the food? Laysara Summit Kingdom. I'm just so bad at development games. Especially if it's PvP, I'm the last person.
The trials are upon us.
Wizard of Legend 2.
Finally see one worthy of the chalice of immortality.
I'm so worried about this game, chat.
You could survive past the first round.
I want it to be good, I really do.
Fire Arcana. Easy to learn, hard to master. Maybe the contest is finally heating up.
Smell that?
It kinda looks like it's probably just Wizard of Legend 1 in 3D, which is not a bad thing.
Lightning.
I want more than just that, though.
Welcome to Deadsville.
Population her.
Now these four have the right idea. Any rules against teaming up?
Nope. Using
That looks
others
good.
as shields is a time-honored tradition. Incredible. The best I've seen yet.
But to
I'm
win,
seeing some of the
it will take
same
a
spells from
champion.
Wizard of Legend 1. And that's the same boss from Wizard of Legend 1. I think it's literally Wizard of Legend 1 in 3D. Which, I mean, like, I know that's people probably want, but I could really want more than that. Was that an Xbox Series X? I don't know if and that was a Switch? That's funny. Let School coming to console. Okay. Never beat the last boss. I think chat told me I never did either. Okay, Blobfish. I almost expected a new game because like Brotato is pretty good as is, but it is extremely popular in this genre. People dare say that this is the best of the Arena Survivor games. Arena Survivor, not the same as Survivors, by the way. Two different things. Co-op! Couch co-op update! That's cool. Crab Champions? No. Is this Chia? On Switch? I'm surprised it didn't release on Switch by default. I guess it's a very big game. So to have this on the Switch without like a massive effort into making it playable, almost like imagine getting Horizon Forbidden West put on the Switch. Like, yeah, we have Breath of the Wild and stuff like that on Switch, which is probably the maximum use of that console's power. So like you have to tap into every single byte that thing has available to it. Okay. Yeah, the game's actually good. Streets of Rogue 2.
Set in a vast,
crap, that's on my bingo
generated
board.
Open world. With this ambitious sequel,
I didn't think
our
this would
goal
show
is
up.
to create the most open-ended and fun sandbox experience ever, and evolve the ultimate freedom of choice that made the original game a cult hit. In Streets of Rogue 2, your mission is to overthrow a corrupt president of a small country, either solo or with friends via online co-op.
People really like this game.
Completely up to
The first
you.
one, that is.
Assemble a mercenary army and plan a coup. Stage a zombie virus outbreak. Or just chill out, build a farm, and totally ignore the main quest. Pick from a diverse roster of playable character classes, each with their own unique, weird traits. Take a look at these glorious bastards. Hacker, chef, cultist, wrestler, detective, ninja, also gorilla, and werewolf, and investment banker, and many more. Be sneaky, or go guns
It's kind of
blazing,
it's
or
almost like a
make others
sandbox,
do your dirty
really.
work. Get inventive and experiment.
I think you spawn into a map, they ask you to do a couple of things, and then you just figure out how you want to do it.
Vast arsenal of weapons, gadgets, and vehicles. Machine guns, shrink rays, bear traps, check. Supercars and speedboats, check.
Wow,
Boom
they
boxes,
went all
banana
out.
peels, rat summoning ocarina, Necronomicon. check, I guess. The huge
Did Streets of Rogue 1 have this much stuff?
Streets of Rogue 2 features multiple beautiful biomes. Bustling cities, serene countryside, mysterious caves, sunlit islands, creepy graveyards. Explore this lively world. Engage with its quirky
A
inhabitants.
lot of stuff, but
and write
not this
your
much,
own
right?
story.
This is kind of nuts.
Streets of Rogue 2 is coming to Steam Early Access later this year. Add the game to your wish list.
This year, early access. Alright. Yeah, I was gonna send the email to ask if they were gonna have the slaver class still. I didn't see it there. I have that email in my draft. I'm just waiting to hit the button. Mostly waiting for like the announcement. Old world behind the throne. Yeah, wait, Pal World is actually on the bingo board. Ain't no way. Pal World Arena. Oh my god, wait. You all are cooking.
Into the city of woe.
Not a lot of info, but
In darkness, 33 souls join together. 33 gather courage.
what is this?
Against his law, we rebel.
Is that co-op or are those bots? It'd be really interesting if they're AI. Like you have your own character and then you like
Flee his
you collect NPCs.
mend your wounds and press on.
I think it's a party of people that you've like maybe captured or rescued.
Though fiends seek to consume you, the fallen may yet be saved.
No way this is all humans.
And the actions of the valiant are rewarded in realms.
If this is all humans, like it's a battle royale, but co-op, that's
Great
nuts.
is the wrath of God, and the second death may take you. Yet together, hope and help remain. Hone your skills, indulge in modest vanity. Make haste to the gate, and
It cannot be humans. Yeah, it has to be like cult management.
33 sinners.
But there's so many things on the screen that look like a person did it.
Mark my words. Only through pain and sacrifice will 33 souls become 33 immortals.
Like that really looks like it's 33 real people. Closed beta? Oh my god. Chat, sign up. Log in. Log the F in. We're going into 33 Immortals. There's no way that's a real game. No way that functions. If it does, that could be really good.
Spike D with its special secret ingredient. Kids, remember your 5 a day.
Oh, we saw this in Game Awards, I think. I respect it. Like, I don't know if I would play it if it's just like an FPS, but I definitely respect that game. Site says 33-player co-op. Oh no, log in! Log in! That's so good if it works. V Rising. I just don't want to build. Like, I would genuinely play V Rising if it wasn't a Survivor game. Survival, I should say. You have to separate Survivor, Survivors, and Survival. It's 3 different game concepts. Castlevania crossover and V Rising. It's like, hear me out. It looks like a good game until you find out that it's a crafting survival game. Same thing with Power World. Like, I wouldn't mind Power World if I didn't have to do the crafting survival part. Like, I don't mind crafting gear. I don't want to have to build, like, a house and get to my coffin before sunrise or else I die. This is cool. People who like V Rising, that's actually a really cool update. Premium pack. World premiere.
World premiere.
Oh, what do we got? Evil Empire. My bingo board. Look at the art on this. With like all the animated trailers they've done, they're still doing animated trailers for this kind of stuff too. That is very Prince of Persia movement. I don't remember the giant bugs in Prince of Persia. Oh, save the cat! There's a girl there too, but save both if you can. Remember, this is Evil Empire. This is the Dead Cells devs. Rip. Going back in time like Sands of Time? Or something else? Oh no, I think you got sent back to the beginning because it's a roguelike. Okay, we got acrobatics, kicked into the spikes. Climb the wall and get out. Yo, the slow-mo. The sh-movement. The rogue. Prince of Persia. Confirmed Prince of Persia. Confirmed roguelike. Confirmed not motion twin. So Sam owes us gift memberships. Evil Empire and Ubisoft. Okay. Shoutouts to Ubisoft for letting people like handle their IP like that. What a conference. It was very quick in terms of like back-to-back show. But those were some real bangers in here that are probably not gonna get seen on like an E3 or something like that. Blobfish, Digital Sun, Humble, Ghost Ship, Pocket Pair, Uncle versus Evil, Red Hook, with the help of Don't Go Anywhere Yet, Billy, Twitch, Valve. We have exclusive gameplay coming up on the live streams, this is what they said. Wow, our bingo board.
To the NonsenseSynapse initiative. It was a good show, and then he had some interesting announcements. It was a first for us, so we hope it all went well for us and for you. So
That's
surprise,
that's
we're
Matt,
the first
right?
peek at the gameplay of the Rogue Prince of Persia. So I'm Matt, the marketing manager at Evil Empire for the game.
I've met Matt one time.
Rogue Prince of Persia, game director.
Yeah, so we're going to go straight into the gameplay, and we're going to run through kind of.
This is Evil Empire right here. So this is what the Dead Cells devs are working on right now.
Evil Empire, what are we doing with
Isn't that 4K resolution?
Why are we in early access? And yeah, hopefully we'll cover everything in the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Imagine not being on 4K. I am also not on 4K.
Completely fresh save. So yeah, we'll see you from the very, very start. So we're going to cover the story, how the game starts, a bit of the tutorial, and then alley up. We're going to see how it goes.
So as we're watching this, remember this is the Dead Cells dev, so try to like think about the kind of stuff that we may have learned from years of playing Dead Cells and how to like translate that into a game like this. But it has to like be Prince of Persia at the same time. It can't just be Dead Cells, but in
this is the first
desert.
Prince of Persia to come out for 3 months before there was none. So yeah, it's a surprise, and also it's in Steam Early Access, which is a bit different for Ubisoft. So hopefully we'll answer those questions.
Oh yeah, that's telling Ubisoft to have a game in early access. That's not normal for them.
Of the game. So it's a classic. Prince of Persia made a mistake.
Again, thanks for everyone tuning in today.
Of the capital city of Persia.
This is like brand new
stop the Huns, and now he has to figure out
kind of segments that we're able to do. Very, very nice. Very appreciative of all the teams allowing us to do this kind of thing, including you, the viewer.
Proud of.
Yeah.
Well. Oh, proud of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the wall run is probably going to be like the biggest part of this game. There's wall run on the like side walls, but then also the backdrop.
Oh, I don't know really.
Old school 1980s era Prince of Persia.
All I know.
I saw someone trying to speed run old Prince of Persia. It looked very hard.
And obviously
borderline unplayable, but I know people do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a blend of the two.
Yeah, I did not play the new Metroidvania for Prince of Persia.
The perspective was very crushed, so it's something we try to keep in our game, and also the decoration on the border of
you maybe give it a little bit of volume.
Are in the game. You can see them in the what we call the cutout of the environment.
Even just the idea. So like you're a small indie dev, you're gonna host this showcase for all of the other small indie devs, which had, I don't know how many people were on the YouTube side. On Twitch, there's 10,000 people watching this. So it's like,
no, it's my job to say.
We're also gonna do a live show of our own game to 10,000 people. Not even early access. This is like pre-alpha. That is very ambitious.
And then, yeah, you've got
thank you, Ubisoft.
Here it's the bow, but that could also be
true.
There's like a teleport.
I mean, hey, that means like a big publisher like that trusts you to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a way to give you another element of.
Absolutely, in 30 minutes we don't have the time of the content of the game content.
Tons of people watching, yeah, on Steam, YouTube, and Bilibili at the same time.
Then here, yeah, this is where you'll be learning the traversal moveset as well. So you got the classic, the wall run, the iconic Prince of Persia move, which you kind of built the game around, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell they know what they're doing.
Did we build the game around this movement?
Yeah, we're not gonna look at our bingo board just yet. We're gonna watch this because this is like a very important part of what we do. And then from here, we'll look at our bingo board.
What is more agile?
And then I guess I'll talk about some games too.
Working on a wall. The prince is also very human in his movement.
Isn't it late in China? China has gamers. 1 AM is nothing.
great stamina. And, yeah.
I think I went to bed at 1 a.m. last night and woke up at 7:30 a.m. this morning.
Made loads of little embellishments on his movement.
You can thank Buster for that.
The poles, there's little flips, there's little acrobatic moves. You want to sell that.
I gotta feed my cats.
Yeah, we
Chat, watch this for a bit. I gotta feed the cats.
So I don't really like slow weapon. The tabar is a slow weapon, so I'll keep my double dagger.
I think you said it's 30 minutes. We don't have to show everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can just say a little bit about Evil Empire already, who we are. So we worked, well, we were created to work on post-launch content for another action roguelike game, which is called Dead Cells, and the DLC. But that's finished, and we started working on this game a few years ago. So our background is in action roguelike games, like 2D action roguelikes. So we think we've got a good base to create this kind of game.
Yeah, we have a bit of experience.
Yeah.
Here you can see my favorite characters, the two rascals.
Yeah, they're cool.
The merchant. I really like them.
And the kick. I think that's my favorite move. If we're talking about favorites, it's super satisfying, the kick.
And if the wall run is an iconic movement of Prince of Persia franchise, the kick is an iconic movement of the Rogue Prince of Persia. It's something specific for this game, and lots of things are built. The combat is built around the capacity of being able to kick enemy, to being able to knock them, to control the flow of the combat. Obviously, we are in the tutorial, so I'm not really in danger because I know this game pretty well. But you can control the flow of the combat.
Give yourself space.
Yeah. Like I just did. You get out. I will take care of your friend, and I will come back to you later. And it's bread and butter. The kick is the bread and butter of the Rogue Prince of Persia.
And kicking someone off a high ledge is always just fun in any game, just to kick someone off. Do the Sparta kick.
Absolutely.
So Evil Empire. What else did I not say? Well, how did we end up working with Ubisoft? Well, it's a few years ago at GDC, the convention for game developers. Obviously, we already had a bit of experience on Dead Cells, and the game developers are all French, and just people meet up to chat. And then someone just said, wouldn't it be cool if we could make like a Prince of Persia action roguelite?
Yeah.
And then they kind of, people talked about it a bit, and then we came back with a pitch, and obviously it wasn't super simple. It's still two studios talking together, but we ended up with let's go for it.
Yeah.
And
it take a bit of a long time to get to this point, but we were so happy to be able to work on this franchise. It's a franchise that in the development team. We all played this game when we were young.
Yeah.
We like it, and we played the original on the older computer, and we played the trilogy made by Ubisoft. It was a chilled game.
Yeah, I think everyone's got a memory of Sands of Time, especially in maybe first of the war, and just
they were so patient. It's 2 o'clock. Technically, that's an hour and a half past when I would normally beat them. And they didn't try to interrupt the stream or anything.
We like this game.
But that's just to say that it's a Prince of Persia game.
So from what you all have seen thus far,
a Prince of Persia game is not.
I assume this is going to look a lot different.
To really make sure it feels like a Prince
from
of
what you've
Persia,
seen,
and it's worthy of being in the series.
Absolutely. In the first hour of the development, we were focused on what makes
but it still has the feelings there, right?
It's interesting in the game, what makes it click, and we try to stay true to
so
nature
far,
of,
like I
the
know I
game.
stepped away, but I assume none of the like roguelike part has been shown yet.
I'm bad. go, yeah. And so we try to
Nice little dash
try to
attack.
stay true to the essence of the game, and we hope we did well.
Yeah, I mean you've got
so
acrobatic hand-to-hand combat.
when you think about
you've got
Prince of
traps,
Persia,
you've got
like
these,
it has to have the
really cool
platforming
scenes,
first.
and then you've also got the story of a Persia in danger. The princess made a mistake, and he has to save everyone and become a better man himself. It's
absolutely
like
Prince
if
of
it's
Persia.
just the
Yeah,
if it's just combat, similar to how we would have for Dead Cells, then like why bother having it be Prince of Persia? It could be anything.
So yeah, it's also an aqueduct. This is the aqueduct level, and it's got these really cool. What do we call these?
Music
like
is
slide,
nice.
Water slides.
Okay, so new weapon.
Oh, I really like the
toboggans.
Replacing the double dagger with a level 5 saber.
So you get these really cool platforming scenes. Where
I wonder if those are
you're
auto
chaining
death.
moves together. I love it. So good.
It's 1000 HP.
Yeah, absolutely. I was focused on the things.
Don't mess up.
It's
a curse? Sacrifice 250?
You sacrifice one bit
to get a
weapon. Life point to get a weapon or another thing.
Oh, that's a big jump from 1 to 7?
But with
you like how vertical it is? Yeah, it really gives you incentive to actually do the platforming.
But life points in this game are pretty scarce, so
They took like 200 damage from a hit.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But it's about giving the choice, isn't it?
For
You
being like
can't have a
so
roguelike without choices.
acrobatic, I guess the difference in Dead Cells is like we have a lot of ranged weapons. This only has the 3 bullets for the bow. It's like you have to go into melee.
So this one first, up. This one is yep. And then I got it.
Yeah, see, 1 shot, 1 bullet, and then you get the charge back from combat.
To make the combat.
I like the traps too, so it's like there's a saw blade up there, and then some spikes. You could try the wall run over, but there's like nothing except the trap there.
Yeah, I like it.
So I want you to do this direction instead.
And obviously there are traps.
Of course.
Yeah, because it's Prince of Persia.
And because it's a roguelike, it'll be interesting to think like how much of this might change on like difficulties, might change in like later biomes and things are going to be harder or not.
Series.
Like how do you scale up a platforming section?
So this is Feriel. This is the Prince's mother.
You think this game could be your next 1000%? Depends on how much game there is, for sure.
We said earlier that the prince made a mistake and triggered war. So
there could be ranged main weapons. True.
First day of battles because he was knocked out and was sleeping. So his mother made all the battle and she was overwhelmed and they lost, but they still fight and they try to push back the
there was a ranged throwing weapon in the animation. Yeah, there was a
So there's quite a lot of these
circular
modes, I
blade
guess you call them,
that you throw and then it
throughout the game,
came back.
where you talk with your characters, and then through this you can unlock
Yeah.
biomes. You
And they
unlock
did like a slow-mo jump where it like came back and hit the enemy behind. It's actually
basically
super cool
advance
to
through the
see.
game and unlock certain things.
Absolutely, because what is a Prince of Persia game without a story? So we needed to make a roguelike.
Oh yeah, we have story.
It's not
Dark
Dark
Souls. Dead Cells, we don't have story, really.
Like to be a linear
So it's like, it's also cool to be able to have something with possible closure to it.
Always going back to the beginning.
And characters that you might care about.
So we found a way of doing it. I think you like it because you need to decipher puzzle to understand what trigger something. What how do you say événement?
An event. What triggers?
Yeah, well, what event to trigger another event and like.
It'll be interesting to see how
time loop, there is
the shops are gonna be,
and you can play with it, and
because like they cost gold,
well, you can
and I assumed you were getting gold from killing the monsters.
New characters and things like that.
Yeah.
You can save your country, but you can also.
But I know that like with traversal games, there's a lot of times you might skip a monster just based on the platform you do. You don't
and
backtrack.
Also, this is also kind of a reason of why one of the reasons why we're doing early access is because already to make a roguelite, there's lots of roguelites that go through access for a reason, because it's kind of difficult to get that balance right. But also this dynamic story progression. We have the first act of the story in the early access.
Wow, look at that movement.
And
I don't know why
okay, that answers that question.
I don't know why you didn't use the teleport.
Yeah, I can use a teleporter. So why did I do it? Sorry, mother.
They almost made it all the way back, which was kind of hilarious.
So yeah, there's lots of games which have gone.
I feel like I owe the devs to give this a try, seeing as how much time I sank in Dead Cells.
I
think that's not unreasonable to think that.
So it's something which we know works for these kinds of games.
I guess
and we
take
also
like
want to work with the players community.
Dark Souls into Sekiro and things like that, like you, or maybe even Armored Core 6. You might not even be an Armored Core fan, but you know FromSoft can cook, so perhaps you would actually try Armored Core 6, even though the game might not necessarily be something you thought you would play.
We need new eyes when you when you make a game. You always need new eyes. So we do playtests, things like that.
The early access stuff, that's like almost the industry standard for roguelites especially. You have to release the game in early access, or else balance is not going to be there, and for all we know, fun factor might not be there either.
We want to make it better.
Yeah, to take it to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And doing that without the community for us is not. It's impossible. Yeah, because
and we did a lot of that with Dead Cells too, like actually like
obviously we've got our own
telling a lot of information, especially during a live stream on what we think about each update, and stuff changes. Stuff gets buffed, stuff gets nerfed, monsters get rearranged,
but when the
items get full on pulled.
It will be our game and the game of the player.
Yeah.
So we want to be together.
I mean, we're only like 15, 20 people.
Yeah.
Already, it's like it's.
Oh wow, they're up to like 20 people
massive
at Evil Empire.
And you will see.
Almost feel like that's the most they've ever had, but I think the real number is like 30 something that they've had the most of. So first boss, General Beru. A little bit of bullet hell. Remember, this is pre-alpha footage. This is not even early access. Using the wall run
you made this boss to kind of
to dodge the boss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's not really that much of a dodge roll button.
If you don't use it, you die, basically.
Yeah. It's a skill check.
That's gonna. Oh my god! Not having a dodge roll button is gonna be something.
So it will not be easy because it's not an easy boss, but it will be easier.
Oh wow, that's so much bigger.
Oh yeah. I always forgot.
They've already taken like 4 or 5 hits and they're not dead yet. So that's nice.
It's good to show the Persian fresco, which is what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The flat art.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We try to
I think maybe you get like a tiny iframe.
Yeah. Too close.
But there's not a dodge roll.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it's good we get to see the story.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, you did it.
No parry?
Yeah,
well, there's certainly no shield. I mean, maybe there could be a parry at some point.
So yeah, this is the Princess Bola. which takes him back to the last safe place he was in.
Yeah.
Every time that he dies.
So it's,
yeah, there's the jump over the enemy, but
object.
I assume you can't jump over a giant minotaur.
The time power, isn't it?
Yeah. The prince has always been living rogue life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it a rogue life. We're gonna assume it.
Yeah. Because every time he die or
yeah, the story of the game is the prince has pretty much always lived with this like undying kind of ability.
Time where he was safe.
And this is why he's so skilled.
Yeah.
Because he's been able to take these big risks when he was younger.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
practice.
If he want to jump from a roof, he can try.
If he dies, well.
Yeah, it's not an issue for him. But
do you feel
like
pain?
You will say just
Like, it'd be cool to be able to resurrect like that, but if you feel yourself getting shot, I don't know if that's good.
To prevent his mistake and prevent the war he triggered.
Yeah, the war's already done.
Maybe you get used to it eventually.
Yeah.
He's stuck on a bad save.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because technically, he got shot with arrows, could see the person that he was protecting, and then like die and resurrect. So you
this
gotta
is
feel the
oasis,
arrows, I'd imagine.
Like the hub of the game. And later on, this is where you'd be kind of forging your upgrades, speaking to people. There's like a training dummy. It's like the classic hub.
Yeah.
For
training dummy. We didn't even have a training dummy in Dead Cells for years.
I really like the dummy animation. It's cute. I need a plushie.
You got the plushie right back there.
So yeah, this will kind of
your
fill up
body
with
could be
things
numb from
as
dying
you
so much.
discover
That's
more
true.
of the game. Let's check if we've got anything else we wanted to say.
Are they hopping back
Covered
in?
everything. We've still got 10 minutes left. We can show some more gameplay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think we can go over our bingo board, and then from there,
something cool.
we can go through different games.
Just right now, when the loading is finished, we will see something cool.
All right. So bingo board.
Right now, the game is not.
We did see Raven's Watch final area.
We told you.
Ponko did not have a new game. Instead, it's DLC. No Hades. No gambling roguelikes from what I saw. We did get Hyperlight Breaker.
I want to be a streamer, but I'm not.
No Terraria, no Ultra Kill. We did get Dead Cells in Risk of Rain 2 though, which is actually kind of interesting. Darkest Dungeon 2 new game mode, I think, is one of the most exciting things. I would actually give that a try. Silk Song Copium. Any survivors in the chat? We did see Vampire Survivors, so I guess that's something. Slay the Spire 2, very first announcement. That's the best thing I could have anticipated for Slay the Spire. If it was just DLC, I think I would have cried. Not good tears. I wanted it to be like a brand new engine, new graphical overhaul. I know people really like how the game looks, but I want to see new. I don't want just... there's mods for Slay the Spire 1, so why would I want to see more Slay the Spire 1? Forsworn, we got nothing. Pocket Pair did show Pal World Arena. Streets of Rogue 2, gotta hand it to them. It did look actually pretty interesting.
We keep using the words like fluid
and that's like not a game that I anticipated looking forward to. Nothing for Chocolatier. We do see Evil Empire's new game. This is Rogue Prince of Persia that was apparently leaked by some kind of... It was like Insider Gaming or something like that. I don't even know if I would trust that, but it's true. It's true. Nothing from Clay. Wizard of Legend 2 we did see. I'm still worried about the game because it does look like it's basically just Wizard of Legend 1 in 3D. My hope is that it's a new experience for like making elemental combos, unlocking different elements, not choosing the same ones over and over again. almost like spell break. If I could have spell break in Wizard of Legend 2, game's incredible. No mutagenics, nothing from the Spelunky dev. Risk of Rain 2 DLC. I guess we'll give them credit for the Dead Cells character.
You also have poison.
All right.
Also have
we did not do very well on our bingo board. And like that's fine because we saw things that I never would have expected would pog me up.
Poison is good.
So I am super impressed by that.
Poison and fire. Big explosion.
Let's talk about.
Try to.
It's like create a build and create synergy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me see what I have in my email.
Just because.
Chat, what'd you all think of the conference overall? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being V, I don't even know why I bother playing video games anymore. Or 10 out of 10 if you're eating. B, I'm stuffed. My backlog is stuffed too. I can't get any more games.
The weapon I have in the first run, the chakram, it's the boomerangs that come back, and it combines very well with long range build and build that attack from behind, because he attack first from front, then he come back and he attack from behind. So one time I had
Alright, I'm gonna see if this video plays.
Build, because in the front I was putting poison, in the back I was putting fire, so it was explosion everywhere, and it was pretty fun to play.
This is 16 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
This guy is like, if you catch him, he gives you a ton of gold.
Okay, I'm gonna mute the stream
but yeah,
for now. And then we're gonna pull up VLC. This is scary, but I think we'll be fine. Oh, I don't want to do it that way. I'd rather do a window capture. And then we move it up. Just gotta get it to capture this. 1 second, everybody. Okay. Gotta close the snipping tool. Alright, I think we got it. Alright. So, Prince of Persia, the Rogue Prince of Persia, Ubisoft Publishing, Evil Empire working on it. Evil Empire, as you all know, the devs for Dead Cells until Motion Twin, halted development. Evil Empire have been working on this game for whatever amount of time. They actually, according to them, this project started almost before the Castlevania update. It would almost think like they must have been talking to Ubisoft and Konami at the same time. So, published by Ubisoft, but Evil Empire is working on this, and we know that's like the indie team. This game, I had the pleasure of playtesting, thanks to the folks over at Ubisoft and Evil Empire. So I have actually played this game. I have gotten up to the boss that they showed, and this is very much like an Evil Empire game. What you're seeing right now, this is B-roll footage. This is footage that they provided to me to kind of do our segment right now, which is like, is it broken? It's like cut off, right? Okay. So yeah, I played this game. I did the playtest for it. I got up to the boss of what they showed in the live play just now. And we can talk through what I experienced with the game. So, it is Prince of Persia through and through. Like, probably the most exciting part about the game is doing the actual movement. The wall run is you hold down the L2 button and the character will like actually go across the platform. You can jump out of it. You can jump and then like down slam out of it. You can wall run directly upwards to like grab something that's above your head. There's also wall running on vertical segments like this here. So you can go up that and not use the backdrop. You can do both. You can wall run up this, jump backwards, wall run along the backdrop, and then do something like on the left-hand side. So they were able to nail all of that. To combine it with the roguelite part, then we have combat. You have different weapons. Almost think of it like more like Dead Cells compared to Hades. It's almost as close to Dead Cells as you could possibly get in terms of like you're playing based off the weapon you picked up, and then there's gonna be some relics along the way. The relics are not like Dead Cells. These are not mutations at all. So in combat, you have, let's try to go back to an actual fight here. Well, we gotta go for it, because this is all, like, tutorial. So, combat in the game, and again, remember, this is all pretty much pre-alpha. Combat in the game, you have combos with your main hand weapon. You have a charged attack, so you could charge up with Twin Dagger. It's a dash that goes forward. It marks the enemy, then you can do a combo on them. You have the somersault over the enemy as your dodge roll. There's pretty much no iframe dodge roll in this game except the somersault over a monster. When you somersault over them, you can do things like the wall run out of it. You can charge up your primary attack so that you can do the lunge afterward. So like they have all of those gameplay feels to it. A lot of those were my feedback too, where if I'm gonna do the Prince of Persia part, I need to be able to do both the acrobatics and the combat seamlessly. And from what I played, they do have that. And I'm sure there's like more to come, because obviously I only did like the first 10 minutes of the game. The game has a real emphasis on like if you're in multiple combat, a lot of different enemies, you're gonna have this kick mechanic, because he has no crowd control pretty much at all. You're just a guy. So here's like a good example. You're just a guy. At best, you have 2 daggers and an arrow that only fires 3 bullets. This is really used for flying enemies, enemies that are on top of a platform that you want to knock off. Breaking shields. Shields is also a really important thing in this game. So any mobs like this that you actually want to contest is going to require you to use the kick, the somersault, and the charge attack. Let's see how they handle this. So kick in. The kick gives you a stun on, I believe, both targets. Then they did the charge attack to go in. It like marks everybody. Anyone who's marked takes extra damage. Each weapon has a different kind of basic combo and charge. and now you can do your full combo. But like they break out of the stun pretty quickly, so you have to immediately be ready to like jump out, do another kick if you have to, use your secondary if you have to. There's also shielded enemies, because the kick itself is crowd control and it's pretty potent. Like you can kick most monsters in the game. So what they did was, we'll have an enemy that has no kick knockback. You can kick it, but it's almost like it has super armor to it. It'll actually not flinch from getting kicked. However, like kicking an enemy into it will like completely destroy the super armor. You can also like down slam on it to break the super armor. So what happens is, you're doing combat, you like might wall run, see a blue enemy, and then you can down slam on it, and the down slam would break the super armor. In this case, they used their secondary, which cost them all their ammo. But like that's like the general focus on how the combat is gonna work, is that you're doing fights. You need to be able to handle a mob of enemies, or else you're just gonna die. And like, it's not a matter of, oh, I pulled out my baseball bat and wolf trap, and I just like bap, 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 bap until they died. The enemies don't all stagger. Some of them have ranged attacks. Some are throwing bombs at you. Some are in the air that are like shooting arrows down. So like, you have to actually do the movements. They also die to traps. You can kick enemies into the spikes. You can kick them off platforms. Like, they tried to do the kick here. Doesn't work. So you're probably going to have to somersault here. Kick them backwards. Did not break this, because I think this might have done a sidestep backwards. As I said, it's early alpha, so there's some stuff that I think could still get some improvements. And maybe from a roguelike standpoint, some of that stuff is going to be like meta. Say, for example, they did the kick here. It only hit one enemy and not both. Maybe that's like a Metroidvania or a roguelike thing where doing a kick is going to hit all enemies. There could be one for the bomb. I don't believe you could kick the bomb. Though now that I think about it, I think I asked the question and it wasn't answered. So it could have been that I should have tried it because they didn't want to spoil it for me. But I think it has like a really cool idea of how to make Prince of Persia with the movement, but still have a roguelite. I guess I didn't really talk about the roguelike aspect of it. So I did say that there are multiple weapons, multiple secondaries. I don't know if it's gonna happen here, but you end up getting these relics. A lot of those are paid for with money. And the relics will be something like, when kicking an enemy into a wall, the enemy is set on fire. Or when doing a somersault over an enemy, launch an arrow at the next enemy. So it's not like Dead Cells where it's just get bonus damage. I mean, I guess slow down enemy on hit, bleeding on hit, that's like pretty close. But they tried to make things a little more exotic here, which I appreciate because we don't have a lot of exotic stuff in Dead Cells. It's oftentimes very generic. I should have looked through this footage to see like what things I can pull out for this segment. I'm hoping to show a relic. Okay, so that's a new weapon, Royal Saber. You can increase your max HP, but for strength, you need to find weapons in the map. Relic? Health and weapon. There are these sacrifice areas that you can get a weapon in case... Oh wait, that actually had stuff on it. see if I can pause this. Okay. So, like, you can kind of see the roguelike aspect here. So, double daggers. You get to do bonus damage if the enemy is in resin. You might have a relic that does resin on down slam, or if you kick an enemy into another enemy, they're both inflicted with resin. Chain's last attack inflicts stun. That is like the stun over their head. Which I said, you're fighting mobs of stuff, so any kind of crowd control is necessary. I never saw an upgrade NPC. I think that was a bug. I really want to see the relic so I can do like the segment on that. Ooh, maybe you don't see relics until the second play. Oh, that's a different secondary. Wait, that was like a challenge rift. Because obviously if you're playing Prince of Persia, you want to have pure traversal segments. Wait, yeah, this is super smooth. So we have challenge rifts in Dead Cells, right? You get, not that you get used to them over time, like I do still get hit by them all the time. But it kind of breaks up the monotony of just doing fights all the time. And when you're playing Prince of Persia, like, you want a room like that. Earlier, it was second play. The first chest had a relic with 4 slots. That was on the live stream, right? I'm not watching the live stream right now. I'm watching some pre-recorded footage. In the live, crap. So I don't have that. I'll find it at some point. So yeah, relics. You have 4 different slots. You can equip 4 different things. Each one can like buff the other relics that are equipped, and it'll have like arrows pointing to one side, where like it buffs the thing on the left. So you might have 2 relics where you put in one to like point at the other, and now that one's like a level 2 relic. The relics from what I've seen are elements like fire, resin, which I think is like oil, stun. I think I've seen bleed. And there's a couple others in there. As I said, I only have like a couple of sessions in the playtest I was able to do. But it's already different from Dead Cells in regards to like, it's not just a mutation. It's actually things that you'll find in the area itself. You'll decide to equip it or you don't equip it and you sell it. Very reminiscent to other roguelikes that we've played before. I don't know why I couldn't do this jump to save my life. I don't remember how I did it. I think I double wall ran. No, I remember what I did. Alright. So, the wall run is limited to like 1 wall run per attempt. So you can't wall run, jump infinitely and get wherever you want. As soon as you jump out of a wall run, it's done. However, the prince, after like completing a wall run, he'll stick his knife in the wall and then kind of like drag himself down slowly. So what I actually did to do this was I wall ran as high up as I could, not getting hit by the spike, and then I slow fell using the knife until I could reach this platform, and then I jumped to the platform from slow fall. I didn't, for some reason, think about running up this after wall run. And even in here, like, they almost don't make it. Which, that being said, again, game feel, yeah, so that's the slow fall. I ran up, slow fell diagonally, and then jumped on the platform. And as I was playing this, I was trying my best to break the sequence looping as much as I could, and I don't think I got it at all. If anything, I only just landed in spikes. So they're pretty cognizant about skipping segments you're not supposed to. So it was actually like a pretty cool experience. See, there's like flying enemies too, so you have to be careful of those while you're also doing ground combat. And not every secondary aims up either. So I actually have full faith in their ability to make a game like this. And like I said, it's early access, so we're gonna continue to give feedback as much as we can. What I would like to see really depends on what the meta looks like. I would like to see more acrobatics into combat. So say, for example, we had the mob here. If I were to, like, vault over one, you're in the air. I know you can down slam and do some damage that way, but it'd be really cool if I could, like, vault over, and that'll give me a buff where, like, the next attack, I do something different than the down slam. Some of the relics are, if you vault, then attack enemies around you with stars or something of that nature. But I would love to see a new attack based on either meta progression or finding a thing with a roguelite. People said they love the verticality. Right now, I think they're in the pits. If I go back here, like, you can clearly see they're like very high up compared to the rest of the world. And that reminds me a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog. To me, like, some of the best ways to do platform gaming is when there's different lanes to go through. You have the upper lane, which is usually like your more difficult part of the segment. You have your lower lane, which is like the safer way, but maybe there's more enemies or something like that. And this game has that. Like, there's all of this section up here, and if you did the upper path, then you would have skipped that entire lower section. And, like, you would have to have, like, the skill to stay up there. It was only, like, really a tutorial area. I'm sure later on, those upper segments can be harder. And then you'll also have areas that are, like, grander than just, like, 2 lanes. For example, it could be 1 lane where you go across the map, and then there's a giant tower you have to traverse. Think like Clock Tower in Dead Cells. It's like Clock Tower, except you have to do the actual platforming. And then there's enemies along the way, and then at the top, there's like a lever that unlocks the bottom that you can teleport back down or something like that. I think those are the only kinds of levels I've seen. The boss is the only boss that was in the demo. Or playtest, I should say. It's not a demo. I fought this boss probably 3 times, and I did not beat it a single time. And, like, it could be meta where, like, the more stuff I get, the easier it'll be. The devs were saying to me that with knowledge, you'll be able to do a little bit better. Like, right now, they have half HP and no health pots. Oh, wow, you can do that to the wall? I've never seen this thing before. I really like the idea of, okay, so here's a boss with no dodge roll. The only dodge roll you have is doing the wall run behind you. I think that was like a premier concept for a game like this. Because if you think about it, like, if you could just dodge roll everything, then why bother having all of those, like, vault over the enemy mechanics or some of the wall run stuff? Like, you wouldn't bother. You just hit circle. Didn't get the iframes from that. The boss does have a phase 2 to it, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk through it, but basically the game tells you that we loved that you did the wall runs to do the dodges. We're gonna make it harder to do the wall run now. So that is gonna be like super interesting on how they can scale into like harder difficulties or late game. If I could just wall run everything, how are you gonna scale that up? It could be that there's only like a specific line that you can wall run because like the wall breaks. It could be that the lower section of the wall has broken and you have to wall run as high up as possible to do dodges. Maybe it's random. Or maybe like one section on one side is high, on the other side it's low, so you have to make sure you're on the right side while also doing the right wall run. Really like removing the dodge roll. It lowers the skill cap by a lot. Now, counterpoint. If I had dodge roll on this fight, I don't think I would have died. I think I would have won all 3 times I fought it. I could see less wall parts or bosses that destroy walls during the fight. Yeah, so this one has that technology to it. Later on, it could be that maybe it's like a servant kind of situation where the map is actually a platforming section in and of itself, and you're fighting a boss alongside doing the running segment. That could be really cool. From what I played, they worked a lot on the iframes, because I remember when there was barely any iframes at all. So like that phaser looking thing, maybe that could have had a additional iframe after, but if they don't want to do that, then that's fine. Yeah, if you're good at dodge rolling, then it's probably going to be easier. That's probably true. The game, of course, does have blueprints. You find stuff. You get a currency from killing enemies, and then also from doing the curses on the map. So you're able to take that currency and then cash it in this area to unlock stuff. Of course, like the build I had, I wasn't able to unlock anything. But for the most part, it's different from Dead Cells where you don't lose everything when you die. It's, honestly, I think that's such an outdated concept of just lose everything if you didn't cash it in. In Dark Souls, it's different. In Dark Souls, you have a campfire. So, like, if you lost something, you're only back, like, 5 minutes. And then you kind of just go to where you died. It's really not that bad. But in Dead Cells, however, if you didn't cash in your cells to the collector, it's all gone. And you could say, yeah, you should be spinning your cells every time you get to the collector. But the blueprints themselves, you lose if you die. And that, it changes your mindset when you play the game. If you get a really good mutation drop, or like a really rare skin, or something like that, all of a sudden now you're thinking to yourself, I have to change how I play so I do not lose this thing. And like, in some ways that's cool design, but in other ways it's just added playtime, because like now the player's playing more slowly, and cheese. Now you're gonna want to cheese everything. So like, you ideally don't want the player to feel like that in a video game. Any custom skins that you know about, like in Dead Cells? I don't think I saw anything, but that doesn't mean that doesn't exist. The playtest I did was more about the gameplay feel. Like, does it feel like you're playing Prince of Persia, or does it feel like you're playing Dead Cells? That was the #1 thing that they asked me. The #2 thing was, now that you've played the game, what's your vision of the game? Because like, doing this is all cool, but like, what does it look like after this area? What do you think it looks like after this biome and after the first boss? And then I tried to go through what I I think that would be. As I said, I am really looking forward to this. Someone asked in the chat, would I give this like 1000% of my attention? That always depends on how much content is in the game. I came into Dead Cells right before full release. I'd say like it was the Baguette update. Maybe that was update 0.8 or something like that. So I'm not a triple OG like a lot of people are. So by then, by update 0.8, there was already a ton of stuff. So I was perfectly fine spamming Dead Cells because I was at a point where I could. Other games that we played early access day one, like your Spirit Falls, your Oblivion Overrides, like we were able to do everything, and then we did whatever other game came out at that time. This is a game to me that I would always check in on if there's an update. If I 100% it. Maybe that's the answer to the question. V, are you gonna 100% this game in early access? Yes. 100%. 1000% even. So yeah. Big thanks to Evil Empire and Ubisoft. I actually feel like the game's in good hands. And then we'll do whatever it is in our power to, you know, help the game through early access. What's the name of the game? It's The Rogue Prince of Persia. From Evil Empire, published by Ubisoft. Okay. I wonder if they have trailers up. So they're showing gameplay footage. If they have trailers for some of the new games that were announced, we'll look at those. If not, then we'll probably be good. Am I gonna expose myself in my watch history? We're just gonna get back to the Triple I Initiative channel. Alright. They do! They really do! I am, like, impressed. The amount of work they put into this is so big. Wait, no, it is Undermine 2. Wait, I thought it was just Undermine co-op. Did I miss that? Wait, that's so much better. Even though, like, I highly doubt a lot of people finish Undermine. Where did it say that this was Undermine 2? I missed that. Alright, call me blind or whatever, I completely missed that it was in Undermine 2. That means if you could play this solo as her, this is already much better than Undermine 1. Now what's gonna make this interesting? So the big issue, Speedy, you finished Undermine multiple times. Okay, so the big issue I have with Undermine is it has what they call dark meta. Dark meta is, for example, you get gold. You can see the backpack right here. You get gold in the biome. When you die, you spend the gold to make your character better. And that's not to say that, oh, I added the Death Defiance. I added additional dodge rolls. I guess they might have that now that she's in the game. But it was more so like armor up, health up, gold carry capacity up, and stuff like that. Like that to me is what I absolutely despise. What I did like in the game is their curse system was one of the best curse systems of all roguelikes. It's one of those where it's like, here's a buff, and then here's a debuff, just like Curse of the Dead Gods. And then it's a relic that you picked up, and I think it's a shrine too that you will opt into. So I think they did that part very well in this game. That's sick. I love the dark meta that you talk about. The ultimate dark meta game is Rogue Legacy 2. You literally cannot finish Rogue Legacy 2 without participating in building up the legacy. Adding stats until you're able to beat the game, and then the game kills you until you add more stats. But that's like literally what the game is. And maybe to me, that's what I didn't expect from Undermine 1. And maybe that's my fault. I expected Undermine 1 to behave a lot like Binding of Isaac. And Isaac, you could probably win your first run if you were like exceptionally good at the game. The unlocks are more about adding to the experience. It's not a requirement to actually win. And I say that as someone with like no hours in Isaac. Yeah, it also stops at mom. True. So, like, I don't mind games that utilize dark meta. I have to come into that game expecting that to be the thing. Let's use Death Must Die.
Take our hourglass, hero.
Death Must Die is a game that has not literal dark meta. And I did not invent that term. I stole it from SD. SD is a good buddy of the stream. My issue with Death Must Die is that the equipment that you see right here is basically the meta of the game. It's a very cool way to hide meta. And for those who don't know what I mean by meta, meta is leveling up your character in a roguelite, L-I-T-E, so that you're actually able to beat whatever the game is. You cannot usually beat the game until you do the meta progression. There's lots of different ways to do meta progression. It could be more health pots. It could be rarity up on stuff. In Death Must Die, they put that stuff in the armor. So the armor might be rarity up, attack up, health and armor up. This stuff is not guaranteed to show up at very high levels. In fact, you start off with only common gear until you keep playing the game over and over and over and over again until you finally get uncommon drops. You equip those, then you get epic drops, purple drops. You equip those, then you get legendaries, and you equip those. And that's like masking the meta progression, where what I expect it to have is exotic stuff like you would think from a Diablo or a Path of Exile, where it's additional bullets increased. And they do technically have that stuff, but that's the legendary stuff.
And focus your mind.
So like, heal on level up and spell damage. That's like, if you were to think about Rogue Legacy 2 or what we just saw, Undermine, this is like 50 gold that you put into a bar somewhere. But instead, they put it on armor, and they replaced it with heal plus 2. Spell damage plus 2%. Now, this is brand new right here. This is cool. I like this.
And enter Death's realm.
That is technically regular meta. That's the meta we actually remember. Your damage against enemies above 50 life is increased. You have a chance to block damage.
And enter Death's.
Whenever you block, your attack speed is increased. This kind of stuff is cool. So is like the other stuff. The equipment, I did not want heal plus 2, spell damage plus 2%. That's not what I care for. Eventually, I can tell you that it does turn into better stuff. It's just the beginning of the game, you have to get through common gear. And like Sir Chris is saying in the chat right now, perhaps later on in the next updates, that's all going to get revamped.
Once again.
And I can hope that that's the case, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Like, the game was always, not always, the game is already extremely successful. This is like Hades to me. The game is already successful, So the easiest thing to do is to do nothing, right? Why am I looking at Hades? Very positive, 12,000 people. That's a lot of people. Good. Graphics, beautiful. Gameplay, good. Audio, very good. Audience, everybody. PC requirements, decent. Difficulty, difficult. Story. Really? I would have dare said no story. I mean, there's cool interactions between the NPCs, but I wouldn't call that story. Load times, prices, bugs. Oh my god. Paid actor? No, that's wrong to say. It's actually, like I said, I respect this game very, very much. Not for the reasons you think. I respect it for its gameplay. I just wish that it didn't have the equipment the way it was. This game, though,
into the city of woe.
If I were to say anything blew me away, hang on, we need Notepad. What are the games that actually impressed me? Log out? No. Everyone has Epic Game Store. Notepad. Alright, so the games that actually impressed me. 33 Immortals. I mean, I guess I'll put Rogue POP. 33 Immortals. Because remember, like, I already played Rogue Prince of Persia, so I can't say that I am blown away by the reveal. Streets of Rogue 2. I'm not impressed by Wizard of Legend. Raven's Watch. Hyperlight Breaker. I think I need to see more of this game to trust it. Like, in theory, this thing's probably legit, but if I'm gonna be playing Raven's Watch, I guess it's different experiences, right? This is nowhere near Raven's Watch. Raven's Watch is more like a Diablo. This is more like Risk of Rain 2. I guess what I really need to see, again, they were calling this an open world roguelike. So see this area way up here? We're supposedly able to go up there and see some content. And like, that is probably really cool. But on the flip side, if I need to be up here, why am I fighting this down here? Risk of Rain 2 solved that sorta by making there be no objective on the map except the teleporter. You can hit the teleporter whenever you want and you farm until then. So if they decide to go that route in this game, farm until you're ready to go into the castle. I don't think that's too bad, except this map looks ginormous. Let me hide Notepad. So like, if there's one enemy here, one enemy up here, one enemy way over here, I have to do all of that before I go in the castle. That is maybe a little bit too big. If it's the case where, let's say it's more like, what? Hang on, I have a game in mind. Let's say it's more like Dream Cycle. In Dream Cycle, what's the open world roguelite? Yeah, Raven's Watch. That's on our list. In Dream Cycle, it's a procedurally generated gigantic world, and it's almost like an extraction game, where there are objectives on the map. There's multiple. You can decide to do whichever ones you want. But really, the main goal is to get stuff and leave. And if they decide to go Extraction Roguelite and Hyperlight Breaker, I think I'd almost prefer that over Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2 style is just farm until you're ready to go in the castle. In this game, Raven's Bound. In Raven's Bound, you had camps on the map. You can choose to do whatever camps you want until the game says you have to do the boss. I don't remember if you're on a timer or not, or if it's like every time you do an objective, the meter goes up, and by the time you get to like an X amount of meter, you need to be doing the boss. There's a couple of games that do that now. I would prefer that over the Rogue Legacy 2, not Rogue Legacy. I would prefer that over the Risk of Rain 2 system. I don't want to just farm one enemy and then find another enemy on the map. And maybe that was just for demonstration purposes. But then, like, you don't want the world to be empty. In Raven's Bound, you can fly. So, like, it doesn't matter if the world is empty because you just fly to the next camp. In Rogue Legacy... I don't know why I'm stuck on Rogue Legacy. On Risk of Rain 2, the monsters are randomly generated. So, like, the world's only as empty as your RNG says it is. So we gotta figure out how to make Hyperlight Breaker feel like you're always doing something and not fighting an enemy for no reason. What was the pronunciation for this?
Hello, I'm Anwar Noriega.
I think they say it at the end.
Way to resist. To get our voices back. Is with Rakugaki.
Rakugaki. I'm not gonna put this on the notepad. Gearbox. Oh, snap. I'm not gonna put this on the notepad only because we didn't see actual gameplay. But I am really excited if that's a if that's a Jets grind radio kind of game. Vampire Survivors Contra DLC did look pretty good. Gestalt looked pretty good. But people said that that's like an existing game? I've never heard of this before. Gestalt. The Fifth Day. They have a free demo up. No, I cannot imagine this is the same. It's been known about, just no info. Wait, I want to play this game. Hang on. Kill Knight looked pretty cool. Slay the Spire 2. Oh my god. That is a game. I can't believe that's a game. Like, I thought for sure this was just gonna be a DLC, which is no different than just downloading a freaking mod. Like, you all don't know how many mods there are for the workshop for this. It's actually... there's so many mods that they actually added the mod manager to Steam. Can we see workshop? Does this not take you to the workshop? Like, you can have literally anything in Slay the Spire right now. So, like, why bother doing a DLC for it? You have to make a second game. You could be freeing from the newest anime that everyone's super excited about. Please tell me this is safe to click. You don't need a DLC in Slay the Spire 1. It already exists. There's infinite supply of DLC for this game. It has to be a new game. Yo, Pyro, good to see you. They never show cards? It has to be a card game. If this was somehow an action game, I'd be highly surprised. Maybe it could be like Beneath Oresa. That's the closest I think I would allow for. And by I mean gamers. Gamers are very fickle. So if this is what Slay the Spire 2 looks like,
The ashes of the era.
I don't think it really does Slay the Spire justice.
The city of the gods.
Because you have to remember, Slay the Spire is about deck building.
Now that the divine rulers are gone.
Like, this is deck building, but I almost feel like this is more card-based tactics game. Tactics as in, like, isometric tactics. I don't think Slay the Spire translates into this kind of game. Now, that being said, I've never played Beneath Oresa. Perhaps there is busted build maker in this. Steam page shows screenshots. Okay. You know what? Slay the Spire 1. New graphical overhaul, new enemies, new balance. Why don't we have Defect, though? Why is Defect dead? The Necrobinder calls upon her trusty left hand, Asti, in combat. I like how they still have it, like, generally, lighthearted. Symbiote. Oh, snap. Lost 6 HP. Enchant an attack with Corrupted. Remove a random card from your deck. It looks like it is literally Slay the Spire 1, 2. Which is not a bad thing. That's different than Wizard of Legend 1 being like Wizard of Legend 2. Because that could have had innovation. Does Slay the Spire 2 need innovation? In some regards, probably. But I think the skeleton is so well done that it just needs official content on a fresh, like, palette. So yeah, Slay the Spire 1 with money. It's a fun way to think about it. Slay the Spire HD. So Wizard of Legend 2. Let's look at Wizard of Legend 1 first. New item. New spell. New enemy. I want to like this game, I'm just so bad at it. Look at the bosses. Like, remember these bosses for 1 minute from now. Wizard of Legend. And now we look at Wizard of Legend 2.
The trials are upon us. Will we finally see one worthy of the challenge?
Brutally
of
hard for new
immortality?
players. I would
Might
agree
be
with
cool
that.
With a wizard who could survive past the first round. This wizard wields fire arcana.
Now, let it be said, this is not a conversation about 2D graphics versus 3D graphics. Like, I don't mind that the game is 3D. I really don't.
Easy to learn, hard to master. Maybe the contest is finally heating up.
Smell that burning? That's the scent of failure.
She's onto an electrifying strategy. Earth meets lightning.
Lightning gets me all tingly inside.
Welcome to Deadsville.
Population her.
Is there a chance this is, like,
Before
not a
the
good
right
trailer?
idea. Any rules against
Like, this part right here, if you were to cut out all of the beginning of the trailer and go straight to this, I think maybe something could have been different.
teaming up?
Nope. Using others as shields is a time-honored tradition. Incredible. The best I've seen yet.
But to win, it will take a champion, a master.
No. A legend.
So that's the same boss from the first game. And maybe it's like, in the deep lore, each element, someone just takes over as, like, the final boss of that element. It's not a matter of, oh, you should be fighting, like, Guardian 8 from Sekiro. It's like, it's still Wizard of Legend. It's still the general story. So you fight against whoever is the current gym leader of the Earth type. Combat-wise, I think when you look at this, it does look very similar to Slay the Spot. It does look like Wizard of Legend 1, which again is not a problem, but I really, really wanted synergies between the elements. And again, it might be a me issue. Like, I'm expecting more out of the game than what the game actually was offering in the first place.
Honored tradition. Incredible. The best I've seen.
For those who've never played Wizard of Legend, it's 4 abilities, I think. And then you can, like, bank one. You have a dash, and then 3 attacks. One of them is usually, like, a light attack, and then the other 2, you can kind of, like, mix and match however you want. But it's essentially, like, Ice Slide. Actually, I think there's some screenshots in here.
But to win, it will take a champion.
So it's essentially like Lightning Dash, Earth Punch, Rain of Icicles,
A master.
Water Light Attack,
No.
Earth Dash.
A legend.
So, like, it would have been cool if it's, for example, if you take Ice Rain and combine it with Earth something, then, like, when the ice is finished, then there's, like, a muddy pool on the ground that enemies are slowed in. It would have been cool if it's, like, lightning basic attack on a drenched enemy shoots lightning bolts to other enemies, and maybe they can still do that. We've only seen a little trailer,
Have the right idea.
but I am not holding out hope that that's going to happen.
Against teaming up.
So, like, this might be the ulti fire spell, because every spell has an ulti variant.
Nope. Using.
Not every spell. I think it's only the, like, triangle and circle spells, so not your dash and not your light.
Others as
Yeah, so that's probably, like, the ulti wind.
shields is a.
But what I wanted was, because what that really means to me, they're almost just a weapon. And today I just want to play Wind Fist. I'm not playing Wind Fist because I happen to pick up something else that does really well when you pick Wind Fist. I might get a relic that increases all my wind damage, and that's about it. But I'm not taking Wind Fist because I have Fan of Flames, where I put down a flame wall, and if I punch it, then, like, flame fires off or something like that. They don't have that.
Time-honored tradition.
And again, they may have never been selling that in the first
The
place.
best I've seen yet.
But to win, it will
But
take
that
a
was my
champion, a
ultimate
master.
vision of a game like this, and I can't get that past me, so I struggle. Perhaps my fault. So that one, unfortunately, I don't think it goes on the notepad. As much as I would like to, as much as I want to see that in production, I think the notepad might be cemented to where it is right now. Oh, Darkest Dungeon 2! Wait, it's actually looking kind of good. New mode only. I will never play Mario Kart if I can play the new mode instead.
Peggy 12.
This looked legitimately good. The capes will probably play a big role like the first Wizard of Legend. Yeah, for a class of sorts.
Casts a long shadow.
Yeah, if it's just 3D Wizard of Legend, people will definitely like it.
Your fragile triumph is under siege. Decency must be defended.
Like, it would be so interesting if they cut out the fluff and it's just
righteousness.
Leveling at the best you can in order to go into the next fight. You know what this reminds me of? And I'm sure this was in development long before it became important. This reminds me a little bit of Balatro, where it's like, you know what the game is. The game is this fight right here. In order to do this, I need to do this in a way that prepares me for what's about to happen to me. The current Darkest Dungeon 2 to me, like doing the Mario Kart part, it's almost like, I don't want to call it a slot machine, but you're going down a path that you don't necessarily know what's going to happen to you, and you just pray that your characters are set up and aren't going to... There's going to be no anarchy.
Righteousness reinforced.
There's also a lot of like candle farming, which I didn't care for.
This realm must stand fast against those.
It didn't look like there was a ton of upgrades though.
Bleed.
But like, look at these map layouts. It could be so interesting. It looks like it could actually be a good game.
Kingdom. These corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Like, I'm actually stoked on that. I will try that, if it's what I think it is. So I'm gonna put it on the list, because the new game mode is what I am actually interested in. Everything else, I mean, there's really good games in here, but this is my top 6, top 7. I know you'd really like the Darkest Dungeon games. They are fun. I play Darkest Dungeon 1 almost like a family game night game, where we do one dungeon and that's it. Like, I don't really... I get my satisfaction from one run. Darkest Dungeon 2, while cool, I think it has some extra stuff in it that I'm not interested in doing. And then once I end up in a randomized event, I feel as though I'm not ready for it. I could not prepare for it. And then there's a lot of characters who hate other characters. But that's the whole point of Darkest Dungeon, is for that drama to happen. But sometimes it feels like it's more drama in Darkest Dungeon 2 than in 1. Yeah, I would say 2 is more like a roguelike. You do one attempt to push through a map, and then if you die, you start over with a different set of characters, I think. Alright, chat, is there anything else we need to look at? No, there's a lot of stuff on sale. For my folks over on the YouTube side, what you've seen today, you've seen a lot of stuff. And I personally could never imagine that we got 3 hours in to seeing like all these cool games. If you happen to see one of these in the list that I didn't really, pay enough attention to, let me know in the YouTube comments. We have my top 7 at the top. I will probably post a separate video about Rogue Prince of Persia, since I talked a lot about that game. But outside of that, I'm gonna continue our live stream over on the Twitch side. If you want to join in on Twitch, here's a link for you. Should make a command for this. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like action roguelikes and all of that stuff. We have Ashla Ascent this week, as well as a world premiere game, which I might actually look at right now. In the 2 hours we have until Wholesome Verse. Either way, YouTube audience, thanks for viewing in, and I hope to see you over on Twitch.